Hi, on today's video, I want to talk about the topic not getting scared when things get scary. Now, I've been making videos for a couple months and I did take a brief hiatus to work on some other research and things. And in that time, things have started to really change a lot. And I hear a lot of fear out there and a lot of discouragement. So, let's talk about why it's important that we don't get scared when things get scary out there. First of all, there's the reality. There are tough times. The world, life goes in cycles. We hear about the stories that our grandparents or great grandparents shared, and it seems really crazy like a movie, but it's a lot scarier when you're living it. And we're not living anywhere near what some of our family have endured, whether in the US or in Europe or Asia or any other country. We're still living in a very blessed time. However, there are a lot of changes happening and there are some very difficult things happening. And whether it's something specific to your family situation, maybe a new diagnosis, maybe some tough times with family or illness or homes or jobs, or maybe it's just changing realities, or it's what's happening nationally with high gas prices, food shortages, issues with baby formula. Fear triggers a fight or flight and adrenaline rush. And so you need to stay calm and focused because the fear response is designed for when you're running from an animal or where you've got to run to help someone. It's not designed for being able to think through a long-term problem. So the first step in dealing with scary times is to get out of the fear. You need to stay calm and focused because you need to be able to think clearly and plan effectively, to make good choices, to think through your options, to evaluate what you have and consider what you need or may need. So the first thing that I would encourage you to do in these situations and circumstances that we find ourselves in now as a country, as a world, or as an individual, if you're watching this going through something specific to you, evaluate your food, evaluate your finances, evaluate your friends, and evaluate your future. First of all, food. Consider what you have, what you need, and what you need to get to be prepared for what you're going to need and may not have access to. Think about the great toilet paper run of 2020. None of us can anticipate specifically, but we can think through, okay, food is getting more expensive. Maybe I should buy things like herbs, small things that you can keep inside. Grow a small plant. I have videos that I shared with you earlier this year on small plants that you can buy and grow from Dollar Tree. I have some of them over here that I planted a couple months ago that are still growing. I have some outside because where I live, it's currently warm and we can do that. And I have some in pots outside that I'll bring back in the winter. I also have canned goods, which I have bought periodically and I watch for things to go on sale. And I only buy food that I'll actually eat. I don't like lima beans, so I'm not stocking up on lima beans even if they're cheap. Finances. You need to anticipate increase in cost between 10 and 20%. If it doesn't come in that high, awesome. But if it does, you're prepared. You want to be over prepared. I heard a really great quote about planning for retirement, and I have shared this on other videos, but it bears sharing again. Do not plan for averages, test for extremes, extreme highs and lows. So when you're considering what gas prices might be, try to budget. If you're planning, say, a vacation or you're considering increases to your family budget, expect gas prices to go up at least 20% over what they are now at a minimum. In January of 2021, fuel prices at my work exit were $1.40 a gallon. I pay attention on Inauguration Day. I have for a number of years just because it's a nice, easy focal point, and it was $1.40. And yesterday when I was out driving, it was $4.45. So that is what, a triple. So 20% versus 300% is very different, but hopefully we're reaching a point where we're not going to double or triple again. But consider for increases. So food, finances. friends. This doesn't just mean the friends you hang out with and talk to. It includes your social media circle, the people the people who have influence over you, the people you're surrounding yourself with, whether through videos. I would be among those people because you're watching my video right now. Books you're reading, things you're allowing to speak into your life, and future. This ties into the friend, which is why I'm adding it right here. Where do you want to be in the future, and what do you want your life to look like? I'll share a little bit more about that in another video that I'm making. So please make sure that you like or subscribe to get my future videos, because I'm not sure which order these videos will go up in, but I'll talk about the reason for my earrings and my necklace and what that means and how that was a focal point and why I wear it now. Because we also need to remember where we came from, but we need to think also to the future where we're going. When we evaluate our food, our finances, our friends, and our future, we can start to prepare for how you want your life to be and start taking action. So back in 2005, right before we had our major recession here in the US, my husband and I discovered Robert Kiyosaki's books, Rich Dad. I talk about these kind of things in other videos, so I won't go in depth here. But my point in saying that is we would spend 30 to 60 minutes every day, even though we had 4 kids, including a special needs child, ages 7, 5, 4, and 2. We would read those books and we would allow them to influence us and change our thinking. And we thought about what we wanted our future to look like. Our life now looks even better than what we thought it could look like back in 2005. But it was because we started to allow positive things to change and influence us that we started making the gradual changes that led to the success that we've experienced. It was little incremental successes that built up so that we were better prepared when this cycle came back around. Another phenomenal book that I'm going to recommend all of you read, it only takes a couple hours, especially if you get it on as an audiobook, is Who Moved My Cheese? You can sit around and complain and worry and be frustrated by the way things are, or you can recognize things are changing and you can make changes to come out better. The Economic Ninja channel, he talks about being prepared and not scared. And that's really what I'm kind of encouraging you here in my own way to do and what I have done in my life. I would suggest starting to take action 30 to 90 minutes, 1 to 3 times a week, just like exercise. I would like for you to also share links to things that you're doing or ideas that you're doing to be more positive, to take positive action. Maybe you realize that you were not as prepared as you would like to be when things started changing. What are you going to do to be ready next time? Because things will get better and then things will go down again. It's called a cycle. Weathering the storm. You need to have a plan to adapt. Complaining about it doesn't fix it. What are your plans to adjust to weather this storm? You know, a sailor, he changes his sails. A driver adjusts their speed in the rain. They don't go, I hate this thunderstorm. They recognize it's storming and they change their driving patterns. What are you doing to come out better? And then stay grateful. I'll also be doing another video on this about the importance of gratitude in difficult situations. This is not Pollyanna. This is not keeping your head in the sand. This is being able to endure the tough times by focusing on what is going right in your life and not only what's going on. The wrong stuff is going to be coming at you. You're going to see that all the time. You don't need somebody to point that out to you. What you need to look for is the right. And finally, I would like to hear you share how you're preparing, something you're grateful for in the comments below. So to recap, when you're scared, stop so you can effectively evaluate where you are. Stay calm, stay focused. Look at where you are, your food, your finances, your friends, your future. Prepare. Get the resources you need, whether it's food, seeds, dirt, friends, influence, wisdom, knowledge. Maybe you need to unplug. Adapt. stay grateful, and share what you're doing. Okay, these are some really simple, really practical things. I encourage you to go look at some of the other videos that I have up. I will be talking about this in another video, but I really think it bears mentioning here. Don't get stuck in the loop of watching a bunch of videos. Find 1 or 2 practical things and then stop. So if you have found something practical in this video that's going to help you that you're going to implement, write it in the comments, write it on your own calendar, and then stop watching videos. Go take action. I thank you so much for your likes, your comments, your subscribes, and your sharing. Help me get this video out there and the practical teaching. I'm going to share a couple of videos here that will give you some ideas on other things that you can do. So go ahead and watch those either now or save to watch later and go back and watch them another time and get the message out. We can get through this. We can come out better. And in my next video, I'll be talking about how to do exactly that. Thanks. I'll see you then.